Good evening, Twitch. How you doing? It's Tuesday night. Hoping you're having yourselves a good start to your week. For now, we're going to be playing a little bit more Splatoon 2 here. Just kind of want to, like I said, primarily, probably not going to be able to enjoy the Splatfest. And between this and For Honor, this is honestly how I've been enjoying spending my time. And I'm okay with that. I've also noticed when playing this game, actually all the kids now have, Octo phones. Which is actually kind of cool. Shame I don't really have a group of people to do Salmon Run, but I don't really worry about that. Hopefully you've been enjoying your week so far. Sorry for the late start. As of late, just kind of been on a downswing of energy. Oh goody, we still have spot zones. That is actually going to be a thing. This is actually the mode I'm probably the worst at, as you can see. I barely get to play it, but so far I've done terrible in this ranked mode. And I mean absolutely horrible. And I don't know why. Like, this, oddly enough, probably requires the most amount of teamwork. Think of a game... No, unfortunately I don't think so, for any of time. I don't have any plans to get the Octo expansion, anytime soon. It's just down to budgeting. It really just comes down to budgeting. And primarily, like I said, honestly, the reason why I've even started whole streams and stuff, and it's been focused on, backlog and such, is because, well, I just can't really afford a lot of games and such. They're in control. They're not... Actually, I'm not used to playing this. Probably... This is actually where I do the worst here. Yep. Oh, you have to take care of control of 2 zones. Okay, that's actually interesting. Ah, darn it. I love a covering shirt, you'd be the best one. You know, it's actually my weakest. It really is, oddly enough, and I think... And I can't really... I honestly actually don't know why, because it's my least played mode. I think it's just because, like, I don't get to spam missiles as much. And when you don't get to spam as many missiles, that causes the problem. That's honestly the problem. Do I still? Okay, that was a little weird. And so when everything's like concentrated, you just can't tell like if you're gonna be able to get what you need. And that's honestly, to me, like that's where the problem is. There we go. I have the high ground, Anakin. Oh, you got the high ground on me. Uh-oh. Oh, you stay away. There's someone above me, and they're going to kill me. And yes. Plus, I don't know how effective super jumping is in this. Like, I think if you're better at conventional deathmatch, you're probably gonna be better off on this one. I've never actually done Wahoo World, though. For, Splat Zones. I think it's actually cool it's divided up into multiple points. Because what was it? Like, in For Honor, their capture points It's actually really cool. I think that's another reason probably people didn't really acclimate well towards For Honor, because when you rush over to the 4v4 modes, people think like, oh, I just want a deathmatch mode. Or not a deathmatch mode, but it's like you're used to fighting games, it's like, okay, I've beaten this opponent, they're not supposed to come back. But they do. And usually once you beat an opponent, you think, oh, you win, but when the 4v4 modes in For Honor, they come back, and they're gonna go and hunt you down. Like the dirty dog you are. Or you have taken their honor. I think I remember... Oh, Manta Maria, that's the... Okay, so that's the one that map was. How are you doing tonight, though, Pretty of Time? The only other game I've actually played was a demo. It was 99 Floors. Because apparently it's a new game, but it's one of those, like, it's not out on Steam or anything like that, to my knowledge. It's one of those, how to put it? You can buy it off of, you know, off the third market. But they're doing like they're doing a publicity stunt as a way to kind of promote their game, saying like, oh, if you beat the game, you know, because barely, I shouldn't be mean saying like, oh, barely anyone has bought it, but I think they're trying to build up as much proof that they've been actually been able to buy or basically sell the game. So that's supposedly trying to get people to actually buy it. And basically the saying is like, oh, you can buy our game and we'll give you the proceeds. Yeah. There you go. Oh, hello. Oh, hello.
Word about community's acclaim spread.
Exposure, thank you very much for the host. That was a waste of a Tenmar myself. He literally committed after me, but they do have the ground, so. Hi. I kind of out of ammo, but I'm sure we could come to an impasse here. People actually... Let's see... I have the high ground, Anakin! Literally what this all just comes down to. I have the high ground. How's it going, CMF? How are you doing? Doing okay. So enjoying myself some Splatoon. I shouldn't have done that. That was foolish of me. Let's see, looks like we actually have an anchor player. Alright, so I'm just I'm basically kind of taking this week as easy as possible. I know I can't think that. We lost control. Uh-oh. Huh. Well, here, you can have that. I don't know why you'd want to give that to me so easily, but okay. Not my problem. That was actually a bad idea. Here, and I just saw The Incredibles 2. Okay. Without... I am dead. That's my weakness for this game. It's always ammo. It's always ammo. Hope you had a good time. I have suspicions it's basically the same plot as Incredibles 1. I mean, like, not verbatim, but very, like, it's the role reversal thing. So, basically, Mrs. Incredible takes Mr. Incredible's place in pretty much anything and everything. How do these people not notice I'm here? I feel bad, but then again, this is C- rank, so it kind of tells you how terrible I am at this game. That. What else? 3. Oh! What have you done to me? Never been good at fighting the carbon rollers. I'm probably just gonna have to swim. But like I said, that's my theory for the Incredibles 2 movie. I think people will probably still like it. Samuel L. Jackson still plays still plays Frozzo. I am. Whoa. Nope. Ah, probably had better. Yeah, it's Black Julie's. I'll explain it. Pixar movies have actually always had dark moments. I think very few people notice it, but they do have dark moments. Quite a bit, actually. Uh-oh. I think it's probably more I think it's probably darker because it actually involves usually human characters instead of inanimate objects or something like that. And plus, it probably will also touch on family issues. Usually things like that really hit home for a lot of people. Like most Disney movies, whether it was Disney, like original Disney way back, with hand-drawn animations and such, or modern-day Pixar, they've always had dark moments. It's more depends on if you can find a way to relate to those dark moments. And that's where you can actually build, like, a lot of empathy with characters. So that's really what kind of moves a lot of people to actually really enjoy those movies and such. It's like, it's a lesson they learn or something they might have experienced that hits that tone. I mean, Incredibles 2 has a lot of potential, because you have characters two adult characters, basically, in midlife crisis. You have one character maturing into an adult, and the other wanting to have, having the power, but not constantly being told to hide it. When they clearly don't have the personality or desire to hide anything. Have some missiles. Hey, at least I got someone. What? For a second, I thought that was actually like a bomb. Come on. I know you want to. Fine. Hey, that actually worked. What? God damn it. Oh, you're right. It takes 3 shots to actually kill someone with Splatter Shot Pro. I've learned something today. Where is my allies? Oh, okay. I should probably actually try and play the anchor. Maybe we can actually super jump. How are we so... I can't tell if we're actually... Nope. And that's not good. Is it counting down or counting up? I can't tell. Nope! That's not good. Well, everyone's gonna die thanks to me. Proud of myself. I've killed my own teammates. Everyone can die a horrible, horrible death. Love of God, please, someone take care of them. I'm not good at this game. I'm not good at Splat Zones. That's probably the reason, actually, because I don't get to spam missiles. And all the turf is just changing in a concentrated area. So everyone's after the same amount of turf, just to actually use supers and such. I am good at this game. Nah, I don't like. I think there's actually more of a reason why more people are actually moving towards video games as entertainment, just because movies and stuff are expensive for most people now. Really? I am terrible at managing my ink output. Really? Oh, hello. Oh, please, for the love of God, you have a roller. I believe in you. I'm actually surprised I lived. This actually might be the night I actually do well with Splat Zones. Of course, I rarely get to play it. That's probably the other thing. I rarely get to play it. Plus, it takes a while, honestly. That's like, was it in most areas? It's like $15 for a movie, and now you could probably play something like Fortnite forever, which is even funnier because now was it gaming? Just was it what's the proper term of it? Basically, gaming disorder has now made it into the World Health Organization, despite a lot of pushback, and not from gamers, but actual psychological and medical associations. But it's in the ICD-11, which is kind of funny, because that's going to take years for the United States to even recognize. Because they only just recognized ICD-10. Have some missiles. Oh. Want more missiles. The more stuff I can splat. The more stuff I can splat, the more stuff I can get. That's what I want. I want all of the missiles. No. Alright, I'm actually amazed I lived. Aha, I lived. Have some. That is going to get me killed. That's gonna get me killed. That's also gonna get me killed. Actually surprised that didn't hit. Who has control? Do we have control or do they have control? I can't actually tell. Alright. Whoop. Did I... Alright, I guess I prematurely launched my... Oh, the match is already over. That was actually quick. I honestly don't understand how Splat Zones work, in terms of how quickly a match can end. Does anyone know? Because I don't. That was very short. also surprised to learn that actually From Software might actually be developing an Armored Core game. So there actually might be an Armored Core 6 on the way. Which I'm skeptical, because it said they're saying that they're possibly developing it. I don't think they are with Sekiro being developed. But I'm actually more interested in that's going to be more of a Tenchu game, but I thought From Software didn't develop the Tenchu games. I originally thought they did, but I think I was wrong, actually, on that. At least Tenchu 1. I don't know if they developed it like Tenchu 2 or 3 and such. But I actually did enjoy Tenchu. Let's go for 2. Oh. I missed. I went too far to the left. And I still splatted 2 people. Okay, I'm happy with that then. Well, hello, AFK player. How are you doing today? Oh! That is a very bold player. Damn auto bombs. How's it going, Newton? How are you doing tonight? Oh, I'm probably actually gonna lose this one. They lost control. They're in control. They're out of control. Especially when someone uses an auto bomb launcher. Have all the Tenta missiles. Alright. Damn it. Just beat Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. That's another game, like, I would think I would have actually a really good time playing, but even when it goes on sale for $30, I look at it and go, do I really actually want to pay down the money for that? I don't think I do, for some strange reason. Which is weird, because I've never actually played a proper XCOM game. But from what I've seen from Smite playing XCOM 2, it's not, it doesn't, like, I've seen the videos of, like, you have 99% chance of hitting your target. Do you take the shot? Yes. Miss. But I heard Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle is a lot more fair, because it's basically 0%, 50%, and you will hit your target. Like, it looks fun, honestly. Because Nintendo barely, you know, it's really interesting, honestly, that Nintendo is leveraging a lot of their IPs with Ubisoft. I just wish, you know, was it that Starlink game wasn't trying to be like a, like, you know, try to be like a Skylander sort of thing. Because it seems interesting. I like, you know, I like playing games where you're the, like, a pilot and such. And yes, as great as it is actually to play, Star Fox, that still doesn't resolve, you know, knowing that's a new IP. How did he live? Thank you. Uh-oh. What is going on here? This is madness. Absolute madness, I say. I'm actually not used to people using the bomb launchers. I'm actually surprised I got a couple of hits in on that. Nah, from what I've seen, the DLC for Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle is solid. Uh-oh, there's someone behind us. I can't save my ally! Oh no, I'm terrible at this. Hi, I'm still terrible at this. Would you like to get this in control so I can live? This is actually kind of a rude map, honestly, just because it's a choke point. Ah, of course. Finally it's gonna happen. Unexpected crossovers are a thing today, mustn't? Yeah, you're right, actually. I think, like, a lot of IPs either, you know, have a lot of, are, you know, old enough that they can pull it off. Assuming they still have, like, the visionary, on the team. I think that's, like, that's honestly the big thing. Like, you won't see, like, the Dead or Alive characters, really be in a crossover, for example. I know I harped on that enough. Enough as it is, but at the same time, though, it's kind of true, because it's basically under new management, and under a new director. I'm not gonna really get anything from this, am I? What happens when two rollers run into each other? Oh, they're up there. That would explain a lot. Scooby-Doo and the Supernatural costume. Scooby-Doo's been doing crossovers since the 1960s. Actually, possibly the 1950s. I'm trying to remember exactly when. I mean, for God's sakes, like, any sort of celebrity from 1950s and 60s not cartoons, but dramas and such were on Scooby-Doo. It was honestly like like, expected, honestly. It's at a point. Alright, you need to go away. I mean, most people probably remember Scooby-Doo crossing over with the Harlem Globetrotters and Batman. But they've had a lot of crossovers. What was it, Sonny and Cher? I remember who else. God. I actually can't. Man, that list is long. I can't even remember because I don't really know celebrities. That's honestly one of my weak points. Three Stooges. You're right. Three Stooges. That's actually that's a classic of theirs. But this crossover was more of an adult episode of Scooby-Doo. How can Scooby-Doo be an adult episode? The closest thing I've seen Scooby-Doo to being adult was when they actually, you know, finally said, like, alright, here's a Scooby-Doo movie, and the monsters are real. You know, if anything, that was, like, the jumping point for Scooby-Doo. It's like, well, this, you know, they're solving mysteries where they're fighting Addams Family. You're right, Addams Family was one of them too. There was a lot of characters. I think most people would, like, just remember the Batman and the Harlem Globetrotters, because they were common. I mean, a very common. I am not good at this, apparently. I are good at this. There, now you know where they are. Now shoot them. I said shoot them. Never mind, they killed us all. Do we actually have an anchor? No, we don't. That is a lot of Tentamissiles. Here, have some of mine. See, this map is actually interesting, because you get a lot of ground that just doesn't get splatted at all. Uh-oh. Where did he come from? That's all I just remember. Phyllis Diller, you're right. That was another one. Man, you really know your stuff, Brewery Cal. It's just been a very long time since I've sat down and watched, like, Scooby-Doo. But that's a series that's just been existing forever. Yeah. I would like... One thing I just don't like about the sensor. It just drains all of your ink. Get out of here. Didn't they do one with Johnny Quest, or was that Tom and Jerry? Tom and Jerry was well, no, they were both Hanna-Barbera. No, they never did no, Johnny Quest never had a crossover with Scooby-Doo or Tom and Jerry. Like, it might have been a joke, like a second. Nothing. Alright, clearly this is not working. Hi, I'm still here. Hi, I'm terrible shot, but I'm actually gonna run out of ink. I mean, Johnny Quest, that was a series. Like, the New Adventures of Johnny Quest was something I really actually enjoyed. Like, that was on the same time as enjoying I Am One Dead Man. I'm really a dead man. I'm actually surprised never mind. I was about to say, I'm surprised I survived. Looked it up, there was a Tom and Jerry crossover with Johnny Quest. That's... I actually kind of want to see that now, because that just sounds weird to watch. Why am I such a bad shot? And of course. I really ought to take care of the person with the splat charger. Don Knotts was also a guest on Scooby-Doo. I think he had a couple of appearances. Ah, that was what I'm doing. Oh, a couple of comedians, actually. Like I said, Three Stooges, they were a comedian group. Really bad. We cannot lose this point. I'm actually surprised we can hold on to this. Oh! He actually won. I mean, cartoon crossovers. I'm trying to think what other crossovers. I mean, obviously, was it the Laugh Olympics, Wacky Races? Those had some weird characters. That was a very long round for a C rank fight. I also don't understand why I go from like C- to B-. That's the other thing I never figured out. Yeah, it was at that moment everyone was starting to use Super Jump. I think honestly people rarely use Super Jump, including myself. Like, if I was actually good at this game, I would probably actually use Super Jump. Level 20. Are you the legend that Spike always talks about? But being level 20 doesn't mean the squad unless you have the freshest gear in town. If you want to impress Spike, you'll need the freshest gear in the world. But don't worry, you've got me in your corner. Anyway, remember that you can press A to get a better look at anyone in the square and order their gear. I guess I could finally actually increase my amount of slots in my gear now. Oop, no, I do want to actually get those. Boomerang. That was actually probably the time that was probably actually the time I stopped watching a lot of cartoons, actually. Because back when Boomerang started, it was pretty much the Flintstones and the Jetsons. I mean, I can only imagine what Boomerang is today. Because basically that entire channel was created just like, here's all the, Snagglepuss, oh god, Augie Doggy. Who else? Adamant. Like, we're talking, like, the original Hanna-Barbera cartoons, and that's all they would show. You stopped watching cartoons when stuff was getting too cringing? What do you mean by stuff was getting too cringing? I can see unrelatable as a major thing for a lot of people. You can easily see like, it's not, you don't really enjoy that type of comedy. Because I think a lot more people enjoy meta humor now more than ever before. That was terrible. Eat this. He had no idea who to focus. It's a good thing he didn't know, because it certainly shouldn't have been focused on me. The guy with the... oh, he... Stuff that just turn... well, you're gonna be specific on that. You're like, okay, stuff that turns you off. That's kind of generic. But I don't know what your criteria is for stuff that turns you off. Like something I could understand, something concrete. Gotta sound like Foghorn Leghorn. Son, you gotta explain yourself, you gotta elaborate. Gotta not get splatted. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm getting kind of tired of a lot of meta humor comedy. Like, that's probably, if anything, one of the reasons I've started watching a lot of cartoons. It's like, I kind of know what the plots are, or, you know, and that's kind of it's kind of expected. Like, I don't expect cartoons should not be assumed for high society here. I am, wow, I can't believe I let him, he ended up living. That's fine. Here, you and your friends can have missiles. I brought you missiles. They're very good missiles. They're the finest of missiles, and I just threw myself in the water. Like, trust me, I don't judge people based on, like, oh, they didn't like this old Foghorn Leghorn cartoon. Like, those were very much things of their time. Oh, do or die. I need to be an anchor because clearly people aren't actually warping. Need someone to be an anchor on the squad here. Do not get hit by... See what you... Really, out of all things, the Splat really gets me. You liked Adventure Time in regular show, I didn't really give... See, that's... regular show is usually, like, a good sign, a good example of meta-humor. Like, meta-humor and nostalgia. Oh, I guess it might be... you might want to actually just call it, like, faux nostalgia. No, you're on the other... you're... no, you're on that other side. There you are. How you doing? I'm just gonna paint this here, because I don't want people using this. My pillar. I'm a really bad shot. That is what I am. Too many fart jokes, SpongeBob. Oh, we're clearly talking about a different generation. Okay. Yeah, no, I was not a SpongeBob fan. That was not my generation at all. I think the closest thing, and if anything, it was probably actually more disgusting than anything SpongeBob actually did, was Ren and Stimpy. That was definitely a show that pushed things to the extremes. Yeah, you probably wouldn't like Beavis and Butthead or Ren and Stimpy, if anything. Easily those two. Like, those would be the two shows I think you would probably hate that I watched growing up. Like, the one reason, like, Beavis and Butthead actually had... like, it was weird. Like, it was obviously intentionally gross.
Word of our community's acclaim spreads.
Mecha GM, thank you very much for those. And that actually, I completely I forgot to set up my capture card to be under the Muxie source. Nick was experimental before they landed on SpongeBob. They were really... trust me, they're always experimenting. They're always experimenting. And plus... that was easily during the time nobody was really watching Nickelodeon for a while. They really hit a bad stride for a while. Oh! I didn't expect someone to be here. How am I not? Alright, fine, here, we'll do this. I think that person was trying to super jump. Rocko's Modern Life. That was, yeah, that was also kind of that was a weird show, but it was very mundane. Like, that was actually, oddly enough, like, it had its gross moments, but it didn't go too far in one direction or another to, like, shock people. Like, if you're really gonna get people interested, like, for, like, doing the mundane, you have to shock people in one way or another, and I think, like, the only thing they did somewhat shocking was their, the nudist colony. Or not the nudist colony, like the nudist party, that's what it was. Okay, that was an accident. Like, I know they're supposed to get their own show again. I mean, which good for, you know, like, if it's, you know, it really comes down to, like, do you have a visionary? If you do, if you have the visionary and you have a story you can actually tell, you know, then you'll easily, you know, then you'll probably have you have a much higher chance, rather than just trying to sell a show. Like, if I say shows I probably didn't like, it would be like things like Rugrats. I didn't hate Rocko's Modern Life. I didn't even hate Doug. Like, I understood what they were going for. Angry Beavers. Yeah, that was okay. Like Angry Beavers was probably one of those, at the points like, you know, okay, I'm starting to become a little old for these. And I think that's honestly probably one of the best ways you could actually teach and send general positive messages and such. Very much like, you know, I know this is gonna I don't know, this is definitely gonna be dated, and it might actually spark a bit of ire in people. It's like, the whole point of even, like, studying or reading the Bible and such, or going to church. You know, you teach people how to be, you know, what can actually be morally right, what's morally wrong, but then, you know, like many things, you take things to an extreme, and you got a problem. I mean, if there's one cartoon I actually didn't like, but I also really understood what they were going for, it was King of the Hill. You want to talk about, like... Really? Really? Oh, like... Alright, he's gonna get away. I actually expected to be able to kill him. They are all over there. How you doing, buddy? I'm actually surprised I was able to get them. Alright, nope, I'm not gonna win that one. And I get hit by missiles. But they easily lose their effect once people kind of establish what their morality is and what they think is right and wrong. And no amount of... It almost makes me actually think no amount of life lessons is actually going to help a person at that point. Whether it's from a cartoon or from a loved one and such. Oh dear god, everyone was there and I didn't even notice. I should have just thrown down my sensor. That's what I should have done. Longer range than me just because. Yep. Double back. Oh crap. There we go. Finally in control. Actually pink this. I'm surprised he just didn't explode it right away. How am I not? Thank you. Like, I should have the range. Hi there. Would you like to exchange places? Oh! Hello. Someone's got an anchor on their team. Do we have an anchor on our team? No, we don't. We do not have an anchor on our team. Either that or people just aren't super jumping to them. Alright, let's see if I can... Nope. Yeah, we're probably not gonna win this one. That's weird. I don't understand what the plus sign is for. Like, is that like artificial health? I had a feeling. Yeah, they have us. Someone's got to pull out a miracle on this one. Yeah, no, we lost. No, but King of the Hill was probably one of the cartoons I hated. It's like you basically only had one person, it was Hank Hill, surrounded by an entire town full of, well, okay, maybe not Boomhauer, but basically it's like they were too dumb, or they like too prideful. Now since you need to get through to get the actual points again. Okay. There's a lot of, like, there's honestly a lot of good moments, but at the same time, like, it's just such a screwed up family. And when I say that's, like, screwed up, I mean of the mundane sense. Like, it's a very mundane show, because it just takes place in a suburban area of Texas. You just have a lot of characters who are morally, in my personal opinion, like, morally compromised in one way or another, or they're idiots. Nice. You get new maps. What is it? What are we doing? More Clam Blitz. Let's play some football. Time for football! I'm gonna give them a football and then give them as much clams as they need. Because I hate clams. I'm not a huge seafood guy. I think if you watched it, like... if you watch it now... I actually don't know how people would actually think. Like, obviously my opinion is set in stone. I was not a fan of, King of the Hill. Just because I didn't like the characters, I didn't like their personalities. Like, were these the people I wanted to actually interact with? And the answer to that was a very strong no. I am going to die. Never mind. I am going to have some missiles. Any of us actually... I could have given my clams to that person. Never mind, they have more than enough. Oh no. Oh dear. Yeah, no. Oh. That was a bad idea, actually. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna die there. How's it going, RJ Ruiz? I know, a lot of people are excited about the World Cup. People are kind of... Wait, let me question. Does anyone actually mind if I talk about the World Cup? I don't watch it. I don't really watch a lot of sports, but still, you know. I don't want to at least be somewhat courteous here. You know, clams. Man, clams. You need to eat your clams, ladies and gentlemen. Never mind. Give me some missiles, though. You love football? Alright. I don't mind talking about a little bit of football here. I want those missiles. Ooh, that's a lot of clams. Ooh. What? Ah, I screwed that up. That's the only football you had. Hey, call it soccer, call it football, call it whatever you want. As long as you enjoy... Like, everyone needs something they can enjoy outside video games. Like, people gotta have more than one hobby. I'm fine, I shall just... I gotta get the... I am gonna die. Unless the football's still in play. Never mind, it's not in play. People are surprised that, Colombia got a handball pretty much instantly against Japan. There's your give me. There's your give me a free win for Japan. Oh, Japan actually, strangely enough, is always really good at sports. Like, they are rock solid when it comes to sports games. How did I miss all three of them? There we go. Okay. Oh, I thought I got the throw. That Octo Rush, really, really good. That was really good by that player. That is how you do a solid defense with that brush. What the? Oh, they took everything. Yeah, go and get those. Oh, I only have one clam. Oh! Oh, I've never seen that before. Unless someone actually died in midair from a splashdown. I didn't even know you could do that. I always just aimed where they were, or where they're going to land. How did he... Wow, you can really do well. Russia also particular. Russia's... No offense, but Russia gets a bye because it's the World Cup and they're the hosting nation, but... So far, they haven't exactly had the difficult opponents. Let's be honest about that. Saudi Arabia and Egypt were their teams. Thanks, hello, Jeff. Most specials in this game can be destroyed by a well-aimed shot. Good to know. I mean, to my knowledge, Egypt and Saudi Arabia are not great football teams. And I don't actually know who the other person in Group A is for Russia. Is it Uruguay? Because if it is, that'd be interesting. Like, the United States doesn't even have representation this year, so it's like... It doesn't matter who I root or boo for. I don't have to worry about anything. Mexico beating Germany. I don't... See, that's one thing I didn't understand. Like, obviously they hyped it up as, like, Mexico being the underdog. It's like, Mexico's not a bad team. Like, when I think football, I usually think of Central America and South America countries are actually being very solid at football. The US let Panama qualify over them. I don't think you let another nation qualify. Maybe FIFA might make a decision like that, but I doubt the teams, or I doubt the nation, or whoever is representing, you know, the nation for that would exactly let them, like, make that type of decision. Probably should have held on to those missiles. I'm going to regret this. And there we go. Come on, give me a splat. It's not a splat. So bad. Oh dear. Oh, they're gonna get that. He's just like me, he just throws that way too early and hoping it just lands. Whoop! And they didn't see that. US had to beat Trinidad and Tobago and couldn't, basically. Yeah, that definitely sounds like that's an uphill battle. I don't know how well those two nations... I mean, football's not an easy sport to actually do well in. No. The answer to that is no. That was close, though. Hey, we broke the barrier, though. Where are those missiles? You know I fired missiles. I can't even actually guess who actually is going to win in the World Cup at this rate. Good shot. That was an excellent shot. And he even got away. We gotta start using these in tandem with some... You have got to be kidding me. No! Well, we can't break our barrier now. Gotta go get our football. And... That's impressive. That's impressive. All the favorites that struggled other than Belgium. So it's an underdog year then. At least for now. I think somewhere it'll equalize. And you'll get the better, the supposedly veteran teams. I don't know why I just let him do that to me. I was standing right there and all he was doing was shooting his missiles. See, I do need it. You know, honestly, I'm ready to actually take suggestions for what my next gun should actually be. Like, I need a different gun. So I'm clearly just playing nothing but defense right now. Also, really, really bad at me. At least the other team is... At least my other teammates are actually doing much better than I am. I never got to try the Splatshot Pro. I probably actually should really try that. Because that's honestly the gun I was thinking of using. Oop. There, I did one thing. I gave them a clam. No, I really do like the Tenta missiles. There's a lot of really good ultimates out there, but I like the Tenta missiles myself just because, at least with this gun, it doesn't take much to get the special up. It really doesn't. I think that was actually one of my biggest problems when I started playing this game was it just took forever to get the Splattershot Junior and the Splattershot to actually get the ultimate. So I'm like... I just came down to shooting. The mini Splat Lane and Range Blaster are fun for ranked play. See, I don't understand the Range Blaster. It's like... So it shoots out ink, but it explodes at a certain distance. Is that the only point where it does damage? So it's kind of like a... This is gonna sound strange, like a straight firing grenade launcher. Is that what the Range Blaster is basically supposed to be? And the center does the most damage. Okay. No. Let's paint a treadmill. So, get that up. Hello. That was really dumb of me. Ow. Red Rover, Red Rover. Send the green player on over. I'm just gonna jump in the water. If you hit them on the head, does it do... Oh god, they are destroying us. Are they still alive? They're still alive. That is impressive. That is very impressive. Pre-Splatfest dualies. That person just destroyed all of us. Ah, she's gonna win the range war. I'm terrible at fighting close distance battles. I'm terrible at it. I'm dead, actually, on that one. Yep. How are they still there? There's no reason for me to even do this, because I just need defense. Well, it's good to see a person who's actually better than me. It's a shame, with all this fooling around, no one has gotten a, Figure of the Devil. That person has nothing to fear. Yeah, I'm okay with losing this match. That person just clearly deserves the win. You've earned it. You earned it. This is gonna take some serious... Are you serious? Okay, alright, just please end it. Please end it. Oh. Oh man, that was... Oof. Like, they're just swimming there. I know where they are. That's the worst part about this whole thing. And they even have a beacon. Cheeky, cheeky players. I'm surprised, actually. You know, why doesn't the one time you don't want to read the barriers back up? Yeah, probably. The problem is basically they're so aggressive that they're not actually even focused on... There it goes. Yeah. Yeah, they earned that. That was a massacre. That was an absolute massacre. But they earned it. That was amazing. You did not see plays like that. That was a well-placed, was it super jump relay point, too. I don't even think they actually needed it. I couldn't even play a battle from range, either. I don't know, I think the World Cup, honestly, so far has turned out to be at least interesting. At least interesting in the sense of which teams are currently winning their matches in their groups. But I think it'll turn around, though. And you'll probably see a lot of the usual suspects pull victories. Unless people keep doing intentional handballs. I kind of want Wahoo World again, because that's the map I know. That was my own fault. I always forget to reload. Is it just me? Like, the one thing I'm terrible at, and this is just a personal thing. There's that. This is just a personal thing I'm terrible at, is when it came to all these new user interfaces and such, how many of you guys actually adapted and, like, actually like the, you know, everything being a lot more immersive, like the ink tanks and such? Like, I'm terrible at that. If you want me to be frank. Like, I am absolutely atrocious at that sort of, system. Like that, at least. What? How's it going, cool guy? How are you doing tonight? When it comes to, like, all these immersive user interfaces and such, I am terrible at it. I'm dead. Yeah, that person waited. But sometimes I'm stranded without ink in a bad spot. See, like, I'm just used to, like, getting a number. You give me a number, I can... Oh, please, stop. Stop. Need someone to actually get something here. Whoop! Oh, he had ink armor. Yeah, this is not a good map for me. I'm terrible at this map. See, it takes I think it takes too long to actually really get good badges. Or to actually make clothes that are actually good. For... to actually be good for, like, multiplayer. I think it takes way too long. I think it just takes way too long. Like, you either have to just find clothes and just accept, I'm just gonna wear anything. Because, like, there's a fashion part of it, and the point of it is you want to actually look. Are you serious? Are you actually serious? Okay, he was actually still there. So it's like, what is it? You know, like I said, you just end up looking ridiculous. But you get the stats you want, and you don't worry about any of that stuff, or... These people are stupidly good at this game. Yeah, they're really good at this. This is actually ridiculous. Sometimes you get lucky and some decent lucky ones. See, I think, honestly, it takes too long to actually get the stuff you actually need. I mean, I'm lucky enough to have been just playing ranked in Turf War and stuff, so I'm at least getting stuff. The fact that you can buy... Yeah, no, like, getting the clothes is no problem, but it's getting the... It's getting the main badges. Splatfest also helps, but... I think it's kind of like the same thing people didn't like, they like Salmon War. But the amount of times it actually occurs, and actually gets some sort of support, is non-existent. Like, you have to spend your time... And it's the same thing with ARMS. Like, it's fun if you have all the time in the world, but it's not fun when... Well, when you have more of a... You know, have more of a regimented schedule. Getting good rolls on sub-slots. Honestly, it's the finding stuff with them that offer the main is actually probably the big thing for me, at least. Like, that's honestly, to me, the bigger issue. That's not good. Ah! Okay, apparently it took that much damage. The main slots are loading independent, so it's like you really have to use that mobile app and also the use the mobile app and the... Hi there, would you like to die? I think you do. And never mind, you can live. How? Alright. Better use it now than never. Auto bombs. I hate them. Honestly, the mobile app is probably how I got most of my clothes so far. And someone really needs to get this football. Ooh. I hate those auto bombs. The one thing I can never see the auto bombs. That's the thing that upsets me. I can never see them coming. Can never see them coming at all. And there's still someone alive. They're all still alive. This is gonna be me dying to auto bombs. That's what this match is. I'm just going to keep dying to auto bombs. Because someone really loves spamming those things. They're really good at it. Are you kidding me? Like, this 1 point here. Come on. Well, at least I got someone. Just gonna go and try and play interception here. Out! Man. Just gonna grab those. That's not good. That's not good. Come here. That goes my direction. A lot of footballs. I'm not gonna get that. I think a lot of people die to auto bombs because they just... I don't know if they have a detonation timer or not. I actually just don't know if they have a detonation timer. Really? It's all fun and games until you're the one who's getting rained down with a bunch of missiles. That's the lesson. That's the lesson. Wow, that person did a solid job. Completely open too, and they got away. What? That. What? This is gonna be trading. He's gonna get a football. When you use auto bombs, you get no kills with them, though. See, you're not playing against a person like me who just can't see them at all. I'm terrible at seeing the, at seeing auto bombs. Like, why out of all things, why white? Like, why would you choose the color white to be the color of the auto bomb? Like, it looks good, and I think that's actually probably the main reason why. But I can never discern... I can never discern them from all the other colors. Or from the two other colors are going on. It's like, I notice darker colors more than I do brighter colors. Like, that's what I notice more. And there's honestly a lot of games, though, I would like to get from E3 and stuff. Like, I still haven't even played through Super Mario Odyssey, and I still haven't even gotten Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And Mario Tennis Aces coming out... Is it coming out this week? Yeah, it is coming out this week. And I really wouldn't mind getting that game either. But, paying $60. $60, honestly, I think most people just can't. It's not a good price zone, honestly, I think for most people. Like, I understand why it costs that much, though. Because it's not simply because it's Nintendo, but because they know it's a first-party game that gets enough support. Oh, that other person decided to move forward too. It blends in. Yeah, you're right. It does blend in the Splatoon theme. Why has it got 3 on that one? That's not... Those aren't clams. Huh? Oh, I had a football. Shoot. Not so much for that. Where is everyone? That's not my color. He's gonna get that, and there's no one there to stop him. Ah! No! I'm valuable, I have a football. Maybe not the most valuable, but I'm valuable. Of course. Video game prices. See, I know a lot of people really, like, say things about inflation and such, like, oh, video games, you know, are cheaper today. It's like, no, they're not. They are not cheaper today. Because as much as people like to lament, it's like, oh, inflation has, you know, actually made video games, you know, cheap and stuff. Like, no, what's made video games cheap is that there's been basically a freeze on the cost of games for ages. Like, the only time it really spiked up was during the N64 age. Like, the time of the N64. And then it went back down to being $50 again. But the other factor is that most people don't even think about or include or talk about is the, I am not gonna win that battle. Is how much wages. Yeah, cost of living has constantly increased. And it also doesn't help that accessories are now a major cost factor as well. Hey. Some missiles. And you have a lot of those factors actually just simply working against people. Which makes, you know, actually the hobby of games actually harder to enter into. All orange, and it shouldn't be orange. Nope. Not even gonna do that. One person is just gonna give me another football. Or another set of missiles. And I get hit from behind. See, this is actually why I wish the Wii U would have actually succeeded, because the tablet as a gamepad was actually very ingenious. The downside, of course, it was battery hungry. And we are down a point here. Someone already grabbed the football. Someone already grabbed the football. And they blew it. But, you know, was it? Even if you got paid $15 today, like $15 an hour, it would still take a while just to be able to actually afford your next game. In relation to everything else you have to actually spend your money on. I barely think even $15 even supports someone, like an individual, to be able to afford a place to live and such. Unless you're literally out in the middle of nowhere. Like, that's why I say, you know, the one saving grace of video games was that when you bought a game, even though it was expensive, like $50 was never, you know, $50 was still a very expensive, you know, investment for a lot of people, like, especially if you're a kid. But even as an adult, it's difficult. And then when you raise it up to $60, I mean, a person feels burned knowing it's like, I bought this game, and I think that's honestly the big thing. You know, if like I buy Mario Tennis Aces and then no one's playing it, especially, and this applies a lot more to the multiplayer game scene. Like that's probably actually has it the worst. I think that's how you need to make $37 a year. That's. Whew. You'd be lucky to get $37,000 a year for from a lot of people in terms of a job these days. Oh, okay, that was me just being dumb. Apparently, I didn't even know I was slowly walking to the left. I have my dumb moments. Oh, you little... I'm gonna guess you're down. You're actually not down there. That's surprising. That's missiles. Damn it! I'm actually impressed by that person. What? That's impressive. But yeah, it kind of sucks if like you spend $60 for a game. Let's just take Mario Tennis because that's coming out soon, and then nobody's playing it. That's gonna be a lot of people taking a lot of heat. I'm a dummy. That just ruined a perfectly good push. And they still missed. They still missed, and there was an entire team wipe on their side. And it's just because people are terrible at throwing the football. Probably not gonna do anything, is it? Yeah, no, you probably don't want to do that. No ammo. Is there seriously no one to shoot? There's no one to shoot. Oh. Oh. Yeah, our barrier is still up. You hate this mode for rank? The rank, honestly, I'm terrible at splat zones. That's the one I'm terrible at. At least if you're playing with randoms and such. Not gonna be able to get any ultimate, am I? Nope. It's half their team! Can I get the last one? Someone can. You're the best at splat zones. Tower control's your favorite. Tower control's fine. Like, I'm okay with tower control. Rainmaker's also a pretty solid one. I actually like that one. That's a fun one. Like, this is actually a good one. This is actually a good mode, too. I think that like I said, my weakness is splat zone. This is probably my second weakest, actually. Out of the group. Then I'd probably say Rainmaker and Tower Control, because that's actually like the game mode I get to play the most, oddly enough. Can you even do duos in ranked, or like actually have a full team in ranked? Is that even possible, or did they actually like push duos and like 3 and 4 players into the league mode? No, you have to do league. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because that really does change things the moment you have voice communication. Kind of frustrating. You just want to do ranked mode, but you have to do league. Well, yeah, I haven't touched league yet, just because it's it's like I said, that's honestly the biggest burn, is that if you end up getting a multiplayer game, but what the heck is going on here? This person really wants... What the... I'm not gonna win that battle. I'm not gonna win that battle either. But I am okay with launching missiles. Have some missiles. How did I miss him? Wow, Cyberflare just destroys us. Have yourself a good night, RJ. I think I can actually give cover. That just makes me sad. I would love to do ranked with friends. Yeah, that's like the people I know and stuff. Just such a different schedule. What? That's just impressive. Alright, if we don't stop him, that's gonna be very unfortunate. There's clearly, I need to get all these clams here. Really? Alright. Nope. Alright, that works. Throw the football! Hey, one person just hangs on to the football forever. A lot of games on our second shift. Yeah, that's honestly the big thing. Is like most multiplayer games, if I do buy them, I just have to play solo. It honestly sucks. And they're gonna get a free football. Like For Honor, can't even convince anyone to play that. I am running. Oh, this is bad. Am I stuck up against the wall? I am stuck up against the wall. Yeah, like most multiplayer games, people either just have completely different schedules than I do. That's fine. But it just kind of sucks. Like, that's why I'm so used to just playing with randoms. That's honestly why I'm just always used to just playing with randoms, no matter what the situation is. We can't... Oh, okay, some of our other teammates are a lot better than I am at this. It's that weird feeling knowing that you get carried. See, that's why I've honestly been more focused on doing single-player games, just because I actually like a lot of stories in games. Like, I see a lot of people... Like, they look at stories for games and stuff, and it's like, oh, it's stupid and stuff. It's like, no, I actually like that stuff. I enjoy it. A time for that difference to multiply. I have no idea what that means in context, Darkest Tempest. But no, that's why I've been, like, more focused on single-player games, because I still have fun with them, and I don't... You know, it's like, as long as I'm understanding the story, like, there's very few single-player games I look at and go, like, this is really dumb. In terms of the story, or it's just poorly told. Like, even simple stories, you know, a lot of people are, like I just enjoy, like, usually if you keep your game simple in a story, or simple in their game mechanics, I'll actually enjoy it. But, you know, at least for me, though, there's a certain level of, okay, this is too simple. I expect people to actually really know their stuff. That was... People knew their stuff in the B ranks, apparently, so... Like... But from what I understand, it's like, this goes up to X rank? Was it S? Oops, excuse me. Was it S or X? I actually don't remember which one it was. Kinda fun. Aw, damn it, their area's back up. That's theirs. We're running away. We're not running away. We're running away. X is above S. Okay, so there's actually a couple more leagues up the ladder. I got the other guy. That's a perfect opportunity. Or not. Oh, that was a terrible idea. Hey, Ashe. You're on the stream. Nice. You probably kicked my butt. In which, good job. Because I'm usually not great at third-person shooters. I don't really take competitive as serious anymore. I think I'm trying to think, like... Honestly, it would take a MOBA. That was a nice shot. That was a person who knew what to do. That was really well done. I really need to use my sensor more. You were on the team? Oh, nice. Well, it's good to actually have a person who is actually better than me. Well, thank you for carrying me, then. Yours fits? Unfortunately, I don't really... This game doesn't really do a great job of, like, enforcing, like, who your teammates were. Okay, I'm surprised actually I'm alive. Uh-oh. Crap. Nope. Who wants a football? This is a terrible time. There's like no opportunity here. Uh-oh. Really should not be here. Where are my teammates anyway? I'm out of mana! I almost said out of mana. Have yourself a good night, Weary Calf. Here's some Legos. See, no, it's like this. I actually don't mind over the shoulder shooters and such, but here. Here's actually a good example of over the shoulder shooters I've actually have not liked, but they're extremely popular. I don't like Fortnite, and I'm not a huge fan of Realm Royale either. I really don't like the, It's not the concept of Battle Royale I hate. What I just don't like is how those mechanics are on the extreme of being too simplistic. I am going to kill my own ally here. Are just too simplistic in terms of their gameplay. I think they're just way too simplistic for their own good. You too. There we go. I'm not good at paying attention to who's alive and who's dead, and 3 of us have footballs. This is funny. This is not the norm. You kinda need to get some kills before you try and rush it. I mean, like, you need to get a couple of kills here. We're going into overtime here. Or maybe not. I don't know why we're not going overtime. But the reason I have problems with, like, Realm Royale and Fortnite and such is that they're too simple. Like, the moment you get into combat with someone, you're just jumping around like a chicken with your head cut off, shooting and hoping you're gonna land some shots. And which I learned, apparently, just recently, the auto-aim assist on the Switch, and I think it applies for the PS4 as well, is so good, it lands headshots.
Enjoy your stay.
Like, I would at least, like, I think that's why I appreciated when I played PUBG a little bit more, because there was more of a focus on shooting. But I think that went too far into the other extreme, where it was, you know, a little too realistic. It's like, here's a sniper rifle, counter for consider your distance, consider, I'm surprised actually wind is not a factor in that game. Plus it also doesn't help, like, it's a grab bag. It would also help if they actually made the shotguns actually worth a damn. But thank you very much for the follow, Shay. I hope I'm saying that right, actually. Shay. It's like that H there is the part that actually is screwing me up. Is it Ash A, or is it Shay as in... Phoenix missiles. I want to fire those missiles. I think what it would actually be... Really, I'm surprised I actually didn't get those clams. That's a lot of... That's a golden opportunity if I haven't seen one. Nope. Never mind. Never mind. I'm out of here. Nope. Nuh-uh. See you, Space Cowboy. I'm gonna get a football here for someone. Here. Oh, please. Actually hit someone with that. That's 2 people. Good enough for me. Or not. Never mind. That was 2 people dead. See, that's why I want to get the respawn Punisher. And I'm out of here. Here, have a football. I'll trade you. Oh, okay. Oh, those poor innocent clams. Well, we broke their barrier at least. Oh, damn it. Oh, well, at least they do a better job than I will. See, that's why I enjoy just playing like a support. Not League of Legends support, though. Not MOBAs. They're gonna get that. Or not. I'm actually surprised they did not get that. Do people usually play defense on this map? Well, maybe not on this map, but in this game mode, I should say. I'm gonna assume they don't. I don't really see a lot of people play, like, defense. I'm out of here. Oop. Ah, damn it, Voltron. Get out of here, Defender of the Universe. Defense is every bit as important as offense here. Yeah, that's what I thought. I still haven't seen... Oh, obviously I haven't seen anything from Netflix. I don't know Netflix. Or a Netflix account. You broke their barrier. Can you act... Really? The moment... Whatever. Wait, the barrier's back? I'm out of here. How? Did I not? Oh, there it is. Okay. A little confused there for a second. Probably should have ditched the football. I'm a terrible shot. You've been in the mood for Metroid Prime? I was terrible at Metroid Prime. Like, first person, like, strangely enough, like, we're in this first person and third person shooter revolution here. And those are the things I'm terrible at. Nope! At least I made the foot... I actually wow, I actually can't believe I got the football. Alright, now that's a win. I was honestly expecting that person with the minigun just to kill me. Yep. You... Oh, that's not good. I'm surprised, actually, like, we're not getting overtime. That's the one thing I don't understand right now. We're not getting overtime at all. Because I thought the losing team was supposed to get, like, a last-ditch effort. Yeah, but, like, I'm terrible at first-person, third-person shooters. Like, there's very few of them I found that I enjoy. Like, I'm enjoying Splatoon. I enjoyed Space Marines, Warhammer 40k's multiplayer. I've only beaten the third Metroid Prime and the DS game. Man, that must have been weird playing with the Wiimote and Nunchuck. Actually, that was probably actually maybe the easier one. Actually, no, it actually might have been difficult, because how are you going to do strafing? Overtime in Clam Blitz happens when the losing team has the opposing team's barrier down. Really? Huh. Wait, so basically you already have to be in a state of... I'm just trying to understand this just to make sure I understand that completely, because I thought it was supposed to proc always. Because, like, it's supposed to give the losing team one last effort because they're holding on to, like, they're given a football. Or if there's actually a football on the field. I guess that might be the prerequisite. You'll play through another Metroid remake. And I remember playing, not Metroid Remake, but Metroid 2, Return to Samus. That, as a kid, was a very horrific game to go through. Oh, how lovely. I am gonna lose that encounter. I knew I would lose that encounter. Goodness, my other teammates apparently have me covered. I missed one. Oh! Oh! Rapid Blaster Pro. I'm guessing the blasters are actually really good at in the ranked modes. Like, I'm just using the gun I actually learned to like. And having the other benefits of the sensor and stuff is just another nice thing of utility. Oh, they have a lot of footballs. A lot of footballs. Very nice play by that player. Oh, okay. Alright, that's fine. I'll take it. That person should have gone. Clams. I don't even know why I was on that side of the field. I don't know what I was doing. My brain was out to lunch on that one. That's impressive. I think that's also why I play defense. So many people just play aggressively. Ah, come on. I don't think a lot of people ever look at the, like, who's down in this game. I could be wrong. It honestly feels like that at times. I'm dead. I'm actually surprised I lived. And this is when we run away. not kill anyone. Like to be able to move. Oh, there's 3 of them down. I'm not even taking my own advice. One moment I was on the other side of the field, I just noticed at the last second, and that's probably gonna cost us because I'm the only person who's like defending. Yep, that's what I thought. Oh. 2. And that person has a blaster. Oh no, that was a splat bomb. Defense players are almost non-existent in Splatoon. I'm used to playing defense, like in most games, and even growing up, I've always played defensive roles. Not like a tank, but just your support defense. Like, you give me that role. That's where actually I perform best. Like, even back when I played football as a kid, I was a defender. Which is probably why, actually the only sport I actually care the closest to, out of every other sport in the world, it's football. But even then, I don't, like, I'm only interested in, like, okay, it's the World Cup. I'm interested in it a little bit. But I never got that connection that a lot of other people do when, like, they have a favorite sports team and stuff. I think this is probably going to be my last match for the night. What to actually do with the money? What would you guys do with all this money? Would you buy clothes, or should I just buy more guns? I'm actually interested in your feedback on what guns I should actually buy. Both, really. I think the only reason I'm so hesitant on buying a lot of clothes, because I barely bought any clothes. I probably wasted most of my money just trying to get ability chunks. Like, I've scrubbed my clothes. Oh no! Ooh, stay away from me. How is that person still alive? Don't... How am I dead from the ink storm? Is it just like you stay in the radius for so long, you end up just dying? Is that how it works? Because I thought it was like you'd have to actually get hit from it. Ow. Can't believe I'm letting it get away. Okay with this. It's a small amount, but it can splat you. Okay, so it does do constant damage. Good to know, because I've always wondered. It's like, it's the one thing that I feel like it's not hitting me at all, and yet I just blow up. And I'm just scratching my head going, why? That was not a smart play. Here, have that. Wanna go for it? Don't even have a football. Die! Nice job. Sprinklers. I barely see anyone use sprinklers. As far as I know, they don't even really exist. I barely see anyone use them. There we go. Oh well. Have some more clams. Can I live? Probably not. Oh, I am. Thank you. You let me live. I'm okay with this. I'm actually surprised I haven't hit him. One down. What? Okay. Nope. Have those clams. Have my clams. So more in Turf Wars. Yeah, in Turf Wars I could see them being good. Oop. No, that was my fault. I'm gonna get that. Kinda can't protect you if I don't know where you are. At least I don't have to worry about the missiles. I'm gonna win this just because I completely stopped being defensive. That is literally what's going to happen, isn't it? That's a chance to win. They can be amazing in splat zones if you know what you're doing. Yeah, I saw that earlier this match. I saw splat zones and someone was using a sprinkler. And it's really good because some people just don't pay attention to it. It's kind of weird. You finally actually, like, you slowly learn, okay, I should pay attention to the top bar and just wait till, like, 3 people are down, and then go and attack. And we can scrub our shirt again. How many sub-chunks do you actually need? Or how many Billy chunks do you actually need to put it on a piece of clothing that you actually like? You can... Well, that's good to know. I didn't know you could throw them on ceilings. There we go. Yeah, but there's actually a lot of games on my list I actually want to buy. Like, when the Steam... I heard the Steam sale is actually happening this week. I haven't gotten confirmation, though. Let's see, what do I got here? The Forge Splattershot Pro. Does some splat. Main weapon functions identically to a Splattershot Pro, but you can keep opponents at arm's length with suction bombs. I've never been good at using the suction bombs. That's why I actually like the sensor. 10 for 1, 20 if one already exists, and 30 for making a piece of clothing have the same sub-ability. Wait. Oh, so basically it's... So if I want to basically have a piece of clothing, say, with just special, like, special gain increase, it'll cost me 60 ability chunks. Is that what you're saying, Darkest Tempest? Is that correct? The Bubble Blower special is a perfect complement to the main weapon's long range. It's not the easiest set to use, but if you master it, you'll be unstoppable. Dynamo Roller. It's a roller you designed yourself using a power generator for high strength and long range. The mortar does weigh it down a smidge, but the ink mines wait until it gets too close before splashing ink everywhere. And the Stingray can take down enemies from a comfortable distance. The set appeals to the stubborn to give up ink to earth. And from blank, yes. Okay. That's not all you're all so ready to do. Let's see. I'm guessing this is a sniper rifle. It is. The model offers more compact design than the original, which was cut into its range slightly, but it still has plenty of reach. Ink Mines and Ink Storm. Interesting. I've never seen Bubble Blower be like a game changer, honestly, in this game. Like, it probably applies more to team. Maybe tower defense, honestly. But for now, though, I think I'll hold on to my money. I think actually, I might just get the regular Splattershot Pro, depending what the, see. 200 for the special! That's a lot! That is a lot for a special. Let me see here 1 second. Also, I wish the weapons weren't so expensive. Let's see. Oh, I do have a Splattershot Pro. Never mind. Oh, that's Point Sensor and Ink Storm. 170. That's a lot better. That's a lot better. I think I'll give it a shot. 180. So it's actually less. I kind of wish they gave numbers instead of bars. Looks like this has a little less range than the Dually Squelchers. But I'll probably actually give it a shot. In your opinion, the Bubble Blower is the easy special to avoid? Yeah. Because it just moves so slow. I think it's basically used... If it's used for tanking... Go Team Pulp. No. No. No Pulp. Flatlings, but... Flatlings can, but them immediately. Yeah, I think it's honestly the Bubble Blower is probably good for offensive. Like, you just need to be, play as using a tank. That's right, there is the test range. I really actually should use that. More games do need things like test ranges and training modes and stuff, and I think that's why I've been enjoying... I haven't really used it much in this. I only used it at the moment I realized, like, what's the range of the Dually Squelchers? Okay, they're a good compromise between fire rate, damage, and range. And I currently put range up much higher than anything else, because I did not have the best time playing this game using the Splattershot Junior or the Splattershot. Although I still like the idea of Space Marine Inklings. Just think about that for a second. Warhammer 40k, Space Marines, Inklings. It works. It also shows how much damage each weapon hit will do. Yeah, that was the other thing I noticed as well. I think it took like 6 hits or something with this Dually Squelcher, so if you actually have someone dead on in your target, it only takes 3. Or at least 3 combined shots. But that's gonna do it for me tonight. Let's go and take a look and see who else is streaming right now here. Well, actually, out of all people, there's actually one person. It's Smooth McGroove. If you actually own... Let's see, is he actually still... Let me take a look here. Did he actually move up to... Yeah, he actually moved up to, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Smooth McGroove, if you've never heard of Smooth McGroove, you should actually check out his YouTube channel. He actually has done acapella for video game soundtracks and such, and it's really, really good. You should honestly give him a listen to his work. He hasn't been active on YouTube a lot, but that's because he's actually a full-on musician. I believe he actually focuses on the drums, actually, but he's a very entertaining, a very welcoming streamer, and he plays along with his viewers, so if you actually do enjoy playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or have a copy, you should go check him out. I'm just going to give him a host. But, until then though, thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. I don't know, like I said, this entire week, And honestly, for the rest of this month is very intermittent. I still need to actually decide what RPG to actually do next for the month of July as well. But I should also mention one other thing. If there's anything you would like to see from my backlog, if you actually scroll down, I do have a suggestion box extension. If there's any games from my backlog or you'd like to see me play, whether it's just for one single night, or actually a suggestion of a game I haven't beaten yet in my collection, feel free to actually make a suggestion in that suggestion box. But, until then, take care.